What's really good, guys? Deportation back again with another video. I finally finished Orange is the New Black season 7, and what an emotional roller coaster this season has been. This is a full spoiler review, so here is your spoiler alert. If you haven't caught up on the last season of Orange is the New Black and finished it in its entirety, I am going to be spoiling a lot of things that happened because I'm going to be talking about things that I liked, things that I was upset about, and certain events, not everything, but certain events that stood out to me during the season. So if you haven't seen it, please go and watch it. It's the last season and it's an amazing show. Please just go and watch it, come back, and then see if you enjoyed the same things that I did. But if you've seen it and you're still here, let's get straight into it. The main thing that I liked about this season and the show in general are the characters. The performances by the actors this season was unbelievable, especially towards the latter end of the season. I enjoyed every single character while they was on screen. There wasn't someone that I thought, oh, do you know what, let's wrap up your story and get to somebody else. Everyone did an amazing job. The cast was incredible. That segues into something else that I liked, which was the arcs that the characters went on this season. You've seen my trailer reactions, you'll know that I did not really have any hope for our favorite characters this season. And for the most part, Orange is the New Black delivered in the sense that they made you realize how futile and how dire some of these characters' situations are. These are real world situations. They happen and are happening to people all the time. It was great for them to shed a light on so many different issues and themes this season. Like, sometimes it was a little bit on the nose, but I'm just happy that they touched on so many. Touched on them in a good way, in a satisfactory way. Orange is a show that forces people to start questioning things and to start a conversation about certain issues that are swept under the rug and are not talked about as much as they should be talked about. Things like ICE and the deportation facilities, the conditions that our prisoners have to go through when they're incarcerated, prisoner reform and how rehabilitation isn't really a thing. Stuff like that, I think they handled extremely well. They used the medium of the characters and the characters' arcs in the season to tell a very important story and start some very important conversations. Maritza, Carla, and Blanca's story especially delved into the deportation aspect of the show and how inhumanely detainees are treated in those facilities. I think Blanca, someone who I didn't really think about in the first couple seasons, to be such a big, important character now, I think her arc was amazing. I loved her story. Her and Diablo were fucking adorable and I was rooting for them the whole time. So for her to then, even though she got her green card and got her case overturned at the end, she did still go back to Honduras just to be with her love, and I love that shit. Not everybody had a happy ending. Maritza and Carla are prime examples of that. They too were involved in a deportation story. Maritza had to come to terms with the hard truth that she wasn't actually born in America as she was told. Her arc actually ended with her being deported and disappearing on a plane as a metaphor to how people slip through the cracks and are never seen again, especially when they're deported. But I loved Maritza this season. We didn't get to see her last season, which I sorely missed. I'm upset that it seems that she actually got out of prison after the riot. She was freed, but she didn't try and contact Flucker in any way. And I know as part of your probation, you're not supposed to fraternize with any criminal elements, fair enough, but I'm not quite sure on the rules. Was she able to at least send her a letter in prison or something? I don't know. Let me know. I don't know if that's even something that's possible. If it's not and she wasn't able to contact Flucker in any way, then fair enough. I understand why she didn't. But if she was and she didn't contact her for no reason, I think that was a real missed opportunity to have them have like a real heartfelt reunion, because their reunion was really good. Don't get me wrong, but I felt like it could have been a little bit better just because they didn't seem to spend that much time with each other even after they reunited. I understand why they had to tell the story that way, but the fact that her story was just left unanswered, you don't really know what happened to her after that, it's just indicative of the situation that these people go through. And even though it was very powerful, it was sad for me to see her arc end like that. Suzanne was another standout character for me. I think her arc was amazing. From what she was like in season 1 to how grown up and mature she is now was incredible to see. And I loved watching her grow and understand things a little bit more. Her whole segment when she was trying to figure out if she deserved to be in prison and when she's talking to her mum, that conversation was amazing. I could watch that multiple times just because of how good the performance was. One of the saddest character arcs for me personally was the death of Pennsatucky. Tiffany Doggett died due to an overdose when she believed that she had failed her GED exam. And it was a bittersweet ending because after a while, Taystee gets the exam results and you find out that she actually passed. And that was tragic. She thought she was stupid and you found out that she was dyslexic. So she got help for her dyslexia and she was doing much better. She got more confident. I felt like she actually realized that she was smarter than she originally thought. She didn't get the special help that she needed when it was time to take the exam and believed that she was too stupid to take it without that help. And she actually passed, but she overdosed thinking that she didn't. And that was crazy to me. I didn't think she was gonna die. And that happened literally on the penultimate episode. And by that time, every character's situation was getting worse and worse and worse. And I think Taystee was my favorite character and has been my favorite character for a while now. She was in a really bad place for most of the season, but I'm glad that she finally made peace with herself after finding Pennsatucky and realizing that she did bring hope to these girls by helping them pass. She set up the Pusey Washington Foundation and her arc ended with her tutoring a new batch of students. And I'm just happy that she didn't want to take her life towards the end because she did try once, but I'm just glad that it didn't end extremely badly for her, which is what I thought going into this season. There wasn't a lot of things that I didn't like about this season, to be honest. I felt like they handled the issues that they touched on very well. The performances were amazing. The drama was intense. It was a very focused season as well. The pacing for me was fine. But really, I could sit here and talk about all the great things that I enjoyed about this show. I could talk about Fig and Caputo, how their coupling was one of the best things about this season. When Fig gave the abortion pill to the detainee that had been raped, I thought that was a massive turnaround and made me like her a lot more. Lorna and Nikki's performances were great this season and I enjoyed her arc. I love the fact that she's going to be basically the new Red, the new prison mom. Lorna was a character with another tragic ending. She lost her baby and also lost her mind. She couldn't really deal with reality in a sense. And the scene where Nikki had to say goodbye to her and just let her get taken away, that was one of the lowest parts of the season for me. I was just so upset. Now, I can't end this review without talking about Piper and Alex. I love seeing Piper try to adjust to life outside the prison, and it showed that it was much harder than anyone would have thought it would be. Taylor Schilling did an amazing job and deserves a round of applause. Her relationship with Alex was probably one of my least favorite aspects of the show. I didn't really understand why these guys had been through so much and couldn't just really get it together. I'm glad that they ended with Alex being transferred to an Ohio prison with all of our other favorite inmates and Piper going to visit her and moving closer to be around her. Speaking of the Ohio prison, I'm so glad that we got to see all the inmates that we hadn't seen for a whole 2 seasons now. It was great to see where they ended up and what their mind states were, even if it was just for a couple scenes and just to get closure on that aspect of this show. Anyways, I think I've rambled on for long enough. That was my spoiler review for Orange is the New Black Season 7, the final season. It was an emotional, powerful season and an amazing show. Let me know what you thought of the show and this last season down in the comments. Smash the like button if you enjoyed this review. Turn those post notifications on. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. The links will be in the description. Subscribe if you're new to my channel. And as usual, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Taylor about the fucking flex.